Hello everyone, welcome to the channel for everything Arsenal and everything football. Thanks for being here. I hope you're all doing well and welcome to a North London derby special with the man himself again, Lee Judges, back on the channel again. How are you?
I'm good, thank you, Glenn. Thank you very much for having me on. Yeah, I'm all good. You good?
Yeah, I'm absolutely good. Buzzing from yesterday. How about you? How was the feeling yesterday after the win?
Yeah, do you know what? I know that we there were certain things that weren't right in the game, but for me,
Yeah,
3-1, I'm not bothered. It's all about getting through, winning
yeah,
getting 3 goals away from home. I don't care that we made mistakes.
yeah,
We've got to improve on that. I know we've got to stop making those mistakes, but ultimately it's about getting through to the next round. That's what we've got one firm foot,
114.
should I say, into the
Yeah,
next round, and that's what matters. So I'm pleased about that. And it
yeah,
also, by getting a good scoreline like that, it means we can just concentrate on Sunday a lot better,
yeah.
and and maybe instead of making changes on Sunday, we can make them now on Thursday. So I'm
Yeah.
more than happy with what happened on Thursday. Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I really doubt we'll blow a 3-1 lead at home to Olympiacos. That would be a disaster. If that's happened now, I think the
That
mood
would be
at the Emirates
beyond
Stadium wouldn't be that good. Yeah,
beyond belief. Like, let's not
yeah,
even go down that road. You know what I mean?
yeah. If they come and they beat us like 4-1, that would be a disaster. But yeah,
Disaster.
I'm happy with that win and weekend. Big game, man. The North London
Massive.
derby. So we'll discuss a bit about it. So the first question I wanted to ask you personally, which game is bigger for you, Tottenham or United?
Oh, Tottenham.
Hmm.
Not because, for the simple reason is that I've got
Yeah,
family that are Spurs. I've got, I live in a Spurs area.
yeah.
And listen, if we lose to Man United or Chelsea, it's bad, but you don't get bantered like you do when you lose to Spurs.
Lose
There's
to
so much,
Spurs.
so
Yeah,
much. Like, listen,
yeah,
I've got mates that I haven't spoken to for months. And
yeah,
then all of a sudden, Spurs beat Arsenal, and they're on the phone going, "Oh, where are you?" and all that. It's just an
hmm,
unbelievable emotional game, more so.
yeah,
Back in the day when we was going for titles against Man United was a bigger game, and you needed to win that game, and there was more pressure
hmm,
on that game. But
yeah,
for emotion and personal, there's nothing more. There's nothing more than a North London derby.
yeah. Yeah. So I think I'd agree with you. Okay, so personally, since you guys over there like are neighbors with Tottenham fans and have family, usually over here, like where I am, there are not so many Tottenham fans. Yes, we have
Good,
that
you're
hate for
lucky.
Tottenham because then, yeah, it's a good thing probably. So usually there are many United fans like all over the world. So I think we have a bigger rival with them over here. But for Tottenham, I absolutely hate them. I actually can't decide between the two of them. I hate losing any of those games, but especially
Yeah,
Tottenham, who have only beaten us like once at home in many years. I wouldn't stand losing to them at home. So Tottenham, Arsenal, Ali. The next question I want to talk about, the next thing I want to talk about is the best memory of this fixture. What's the best memory of Arsenal Tottenham at home, Highbury or Emirates Stadium?
well, well. Do you know what? I've had
Yeah.
the two better experiences have been at White Hart Lane and Wembley and Old Trafford, if I'll be
Wembley.
honest,
Yeah, Ultra, yeah.
and
Wembley as
also
well,
at
though.
Wembley.
Yeah,
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 like those are three. Like, obviously beating them in '87 in the semi-final of the FA Cup was
yeah,
fantastic. Also, beating them in '93 that cannot be
yeah,
dismissed because they'd beaten us in
yeah,
'91
yeah,
at Wembley, and you think about it, like, we only had to wait 2 years to get our revenge, and that was a massive game at Wembley. It wasn't the greatest game, but it was about winning. And obviously went on to win the cup double that season, so that was a massive one. But and also Old Trafford. Do you remember when Vieira scored, and they actually scored first, and then Vieira and
yeah,
Perez got the winner in 2001. We actually went on and lose to Liverpool in the final, but that
yeah.
was a fantastic game. The ones at Highbury and you're going to have to test me on this year. I think it was '85 when Charlie Nicholas danced through a few of the players, and we won 3-2. That
Yeah,
was a
I do
fantastic
my
experience
research. Yeah,
at
I usually
Highbury.
do my research there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
So for
fantastic experience.
Yeah, the one you've mentioned for 2001, it would have been so amazing to win the FA Cup in 2001, 2, 3, 4. That would have been, or 5, skip 4 again. It would have been amazing if you won the FA Cup like 3, 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
But how about in the Emirates era? Because they've beaten us only once in the Emirates era.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. You can't beat the 5-2. I know the first one. You know, the second one was when they got someone sent off, but. The first one, we was 2-0 down to come back and win 5-2.
Yeah.
The atmosphere.
Within 28 minutes as well.
Yeah, the atmosphere was fantastic in that game. Also, the atmosphere, I don't know if you remember when we were beaten 3-0 when we scored and then Fabregas, straight from the kickoff, Fabregas nicked the ball and scored.
I'm happy. I'm happy you mentioned that. That's the same I would go for.
Yeah, and also the recent one, the 4-2, when it was a fantastic game. Like Spurs, we went 1-0 up. Spurs went 2-1 up at half time, and then we come out in the second half. Oh my God, we blew them away. Yeah. That was a fantastic game as well. So the Emirates has produced some fantastic games with the North London derby, like, you know, and but you know, with all of that, you've had the fans there. This will probably be a little bit slightly different because you've got no fans, but like the atmosphere. I know. You know, for people that have not experienced the Emirates, there's certain games that the Emirates, Glen, is unbelievable. Like, you know, Man United, when Man United come to town, that's always a good atmosphere. Tottenham, there's an atmosphere that you can't. It's always electric. So this is the first time we've actually played them without no fans, so it's going to be a difficult and funny situation. But when we've played them at home, it's always been even at the Emirates, it's always been a fantastic atmosphere. And even like when we've not done so well against them, draws, and we've had a couple of bad draws against them. I don't remember the 4-4 was a bad draw. Yeah, I can say it's a bad draw, but it was a bad draw because it felt like a defeat. And when they did beat us, we was 2-0 up and cruising. So there's always been a good atmosphere when Spurs play. And listen, when you go to White Hart Lane, I've been to White Hart Lane when Arsenal haven't played. And then I've gone there and experienced it when Arsenal have played, and the atmosphere is completely different. You know, there's something special about a North London derby and the atmosphere.
Yeah, I remember the 4-4 very well. I think Gallas and Sylvester scored for us. I think we had players scored for us on that day.
And Purty and you know, it was do you remember in the first 10 minutes or so, it was, I think Bentley scored that wonder goal.
Yeah, wonder goal. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we was cruising. But listen, we've had better days than them at the Emirates. Certainly since the, you know, and at Highbury in the Premier League era, prominently at home, we've had the better of them, which is nice.
Yeah, the only time they defeated us was a 3-2. I think Van der Vaart scored. So I was going to ask the worst memory in this fixture, so I'll not only include Emirates because they've only beaten us once in the Carabao Cup. So the worst memory of this fixture, which one do you remember?
Oh, the worst. The worst one ever was when we lost them in the semi-final at Wembley in '91, because we was the dominant force. We was winning the league quite comfortably. It looked like we was going to win the league. We looked like we was going to get the double, to be honest. And I learned a big lesson that day, because I thought going to Wembley we was going to win it. We was confident. And it was a kick in the old ghoulies, if I'll be honest. It made me realise, and that's why I never take these games for granted ever since, Glen, because I learnt my lesson that day. That was a tough one. That was a tough one. And also going to White Hart Lane and losing 5-0 one season was back in the early 80s, or I think it was the early 80s. But might have been 1980 or something like that. Do you know what? It's gone from the memory what year it was, but it was an awful game, awful. So they're the worst experiences that I've had, you know. And to be honest, the last few haven't been great. You know, the last time at White Hart Lane, you know, the very last time we played at White Hart Lane, they outclassed us from start to finish. And so, you know, so not such, they're probably the tougher memories supporting Arsenal.
The one I remember those ones. There's one I really hated. I think Bale scored his first ever Tottenham goal against us. I think 2007 or something. It was a 2-1 win for them. I think him and Lennon scored against us. That was a tough
Is that the one
day.
when Ramsey scored? I think Ramsey scored for us. I think
I think because I remember Bale scoring a free kick against us. That's what I remember. He was still a defender. He was still a defender those days.
Do you remember Danny Rose smashing one in from?
Exactly. That was another one. I think Bentner scored a consolation goal for us that day as well. That's day where they beat us at the Emirates 2-0 lead. Yeah, a few. But recently, as you say, there's been a lot. But the good thing I'd say with recently, the game where they defeated us last season after lockdown, we dominated them. Possession, corners, shots, we just didn't finish our chances, and they scored later on to beat us 2-1 from a corner. This season as well, they literally just waited for us, and they counted us like twice, and they beat us literally. That's what they did, and we never created anything at all. But this time, Smith Rowe is in, Odegaard is in. They didn't play any part in that game, so I'm hoping we do change our fortunes then. So
that's a great point. We're a better side now than what we was. Definitely. 100%.
So I was asking a few Arsenal fans earlier today, would you take Jose Mourinho to replace Mikel Arteta right now?
Never.
If you had the chance.
Never. I just don't like the man. Do you know what? I'm going to say this now. I didn't think I could hate Spurs more than I did, and then he became manager. That's how, you know what I mean? That's how, but I don't like him. I don't like anything about him. I don't like his philosophy in football. I don't like the way he did his demeanour. And it's nothing to do with because he was at Spurs. I didn't like him when he was at Chelsea. Didn't like him when he was at United. And I've got no time for him whatsoever. I don't think he's good for football, the way he plays and the way he goes about. And I don't like the way he disrespects other teams and other people, especially when, you know, he's got the upper hand because he's had money and whatever. For me, he's nah. And listen, Spurs are tolerating him at this moment in time, Glenn, because they're desperate for a trophy. We're not desperate for a trophy. We've won them, so that's no for me. No.
Yeah. So we might not like Mourinho, but we might like maybe a couple of players at Tottenham. So I wanted to ask, which player would you take from Tottenham if you had the chance this summer transfer window? They've offered us anyone you want to take from Tottenham to change our fortunes. Who would you pick from there?
There's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one. He's probably the best striker in the Premier League, whether you like it or whether you don't. He's an Arsenal fan, or was, you know what I mean? And Harry Kane, you know. Whether you love him or I know, listen, I don't like Harry Kane because he does the business for Spurs. It's as simple as that. Nothing personal. That really is. But as a player, you know, he's a fantastic footballer. And, you know, listen, if he went to Arsenal would be definitely doing a lot better than what Spurs are doing now. Like, you know, I mean, that's how good he is. But, you know, hopefully he'll be off at the end of the season to pastures new because he's been a pain in the old butt for us over the last few seasons. But
one goal away from breaking the record for most goals scored against Arsenal in the league, and he's done it in very short time. I actually think if he stays in England for 7 more seasons, he'll get to Shearer's record. That's just how I feel. If he stays fit, I do feel that way.
I think he's got a big decision in the summer, whether he stays at Spurs, whether he goes to Man United or Man City. They're the only 2 teams I think that can get him. Or he goes abroad. Now, the thing with going to abroad, whether he goes to Real Madrid or Barcelona, they've not got the money so much now. So I could actually see him ending up at Man City, if I'll be honest, replacing Aguero. That's where I think that maybe he could go.
So if he stays in England, either way he'll get to share. So is it because he does the business for Spurs, or is it because he's done it again? Because I saw it on Twitter trending again.
Listen, I respect him as a player. But you have a look at him. Whenever there's a free kick, he's chirping at the referee and all that. Like, you know, he's got that little streak that's coming to him. I tell you, that little streak's coming since Mourinho's manager. You know, I don't like it, but you know, that's the way he is. And I think a little bit maybe because he's England captain, he feels that he can get away with a few things. So hopefully I won't be saying that on Sunday night.
On Sunday, I would take Son. I think he's very, very good. If you have
Yeah,
Son and Saka and different wings, and I think he's a very fun guy. He looks like a fun guy to hang out with. That's probably the only player I'd take. The rest of the squad, I actually think we have the better of them. I think we could fit like 6 or 7 Arsenal players in a combined 11.
yeah.
So I need to, yeah.
I think much the same, aren't they? Everybody's much the same. I think Song and I think Song and Kane stick out magnificently for them. Saka and Aubameyang probably for us. You know what I mean? Gabriel as well. I think Gabriel would walk into their team. So yes. Otherwise, it's all much the same. Like, if I'll be honest, there's not a lot of difference between both teams. If I'll be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, so the last topic I wanted to discuss is the starting lineup on Sunday. I think this is the first time in such a while that every single Arsenal player is fit. I was trying to make a predicted lineup and I realized we have like about 24 players who are fit. In the last few weeks, I think Partey has been out here and there. We've missed a couple of players. Nketiah had to play for the under-23s tonight, and I think that's because we have a lot of players in the team. Yeah, and it's been relegated to the under-23s team. So I'll put the lineup on screen right now that I think will start. I actually do feel that Smith Rowe will be brought back to the left side. I just have a feeling like the way he played against Benfica. So Smith Rowe, Odegaard, Saka, and Aubameyang. Xhaka, Partey. Then defensively as well, we have a lot of fit players. Tierney, Gabriel, Luis, Bellerin, and Leno goalkeeper. So as you can see on the bench, we have Martinelli, Lacazette, Willian, Pepe, Elneny, Ceballos, Cedric, Holding, Pablo Mari, and Ryan. Out of that, I've left out the likes of Chambers, who are fit. I left out Nketiah, who's also fit, before I realized he went to play for the under-23. So there's 10 players on that bench. So who do you think will miss out from the match day squad? Because you're only allowed 9 subs.
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah. I've already left out Chambers. So who will be the next one?
Yeah, so probably, I would probably say, God, that's a tough one, that is. You'd have to say Holding, I suppose. Because you've got 2 central defenders, you know what I mean? You've got Pablo Mari or Holding. Yeah. Cedric will definitely come in. There's Ceballos and Elneny, Pepe, Willian. I think Willian will start in place of Smith Rowe. That team, that's exactly the same team that I've got, but I would have, not that I would have, I'd have probably Pepe in there, but I think that Mikel Arteta likes Willian, so Willian would go in there. So, probably Rob Holding. That's a tough call, that is, isn't it? I mean, like,
tough call.
Some good players on the bench there, like, So
first time we've had literally everyone fit. Usually there's a couple of spaces, so it's easy to pick. I have a feeling Martinelli will be left out. I don't know why. I just have a feeling Martinelli is going to be the one to miss out, unfortunately. And you guys will be crying again about Martinelli not being there like everyone else has been since he recovered. But I feel like he'll be left out anyway. Defensively as well, Gabriel or Pablo Mari or Holding or Luis. Next season, what would you do? Would you give Luis a 1-year contract?
Yes, I would. Not as a starter, but someone as a backup. I think we need to bring in another central defender, and then David Luiz to be a backup, and also someone, if we wanted to go to a back three, he comes in. So I would give David Luiz another year's contract. I think he's done okay this season. I think that he's not going to take us to the promised land, but I think that as a squad member, I think he would be important to us. So I would give him another contract.
So prediction time. What's your prediction for the match?
Listen, I've never, ever predicted that we'll ever lose to this team. So if I ever say it's a draw, the chances are I'm thinking in my head that we're going to lose. But I think that because we're at home, I think that's a big advantage. I think that we might just nick it 2-1. It'd be a tough game. If it was a draw, Glenn, I wouldn't be surprised. But I just think that we might just nick it. So I'm going to go Arsenal 2, them down the road 1.
So I'm going to go for the same scoreline. I don't know who your goal scorers will be, but I'm going to go for Willian to score his first ever Arsenal goal. Remember
Do you know what? I'd love him to score. Do you know what? I'd love him to get both goals and we win 2-1. That'd be fantastic. That would be the dream.
That would be fun. Yeah, absolutely. I think he'll score his first Arsenal goal, and I would love to have predicted that as well. So thank you very much for coming on. Big game, man, for us.
Cheers, Glenn. Thank you very much for having me on. You take care, and enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, I think if we lose this game, it's done for us on the Premier League completely. So make sure you follow Lead Judges on AFTV, on Same Old Arsenal, and also Guna Talk TV.
That's it. Yeah, no problem.
Awesome, man. Thank you very much for coming on. Everyone enjoyed the game.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Too, mate. Take care.
Thank you. Make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment your prediction for the game. Thank you for watching. Keep staying safe, and I'll catch up with you guys later.